Yo guys, so I've been fasting for around 40 hours so far, and as I, starved myself, I've gained so much mental clarity and so many things have just came to my mind. And I was journaling today, right? It's around 9 a.m. I woke up at 5 a.m. today. I went on a cold shower, already worked, I already did everything. And then I started journaling. And then this is when I started realizing why I am the way I am. And I started realizing so many things that I do that they have a cause, because everything has a cause. And basically what I want to do today for you guys is I want to just read down, these are like 6 or 7 pages. There's a lot of pages of me, just my raw thoughts and my raw emotions on why I am the way that I am. But I just want to document this with you guys. But basically some of the first things that I said is that, guys, it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit. But I just wrote that down, and then I wrote down, guys, without this one thing, you will never become successful. But what is success? Success is not just about money, but truly success is just being better than your past self. And when I do this, I'm rewarded with the feeling of success, the feeling of being proud of yourself. The first feeling of success I ever got was when I was proud of my physique. Anytime I would see a family member I hadn't seen for a while, the first thing they would say was how strong I had gotten since their last memory of me to them. Their last memory of me to them was when I was a skinny, fat, low confidence, shy, introverted kid. When you work every single day relentlessly for something, it's a good feeling when other people recognize the hard work and efforts. But that was not why I was truly doing it. The reason why I truly did it was because I was tired of being the smallest guy in every single room I walked into. A lot of people would define me as a late bloomer. People always thought I was younger than what I truly was, and it was because of how skinny and short I was. The one thing I always hated was being short. My friends would pick on me for being short, and being small/overlooked was one thing I absolutely hated. I hated that other people's opinion on me was dependent on something completely out of my control. And people wouldn't take me seriously just because I was smaller than them. I hated not being respected, and this was the biggest thing. And it's not because I have a high ego, but it's because I recognize my value. And, maybe I do have a high ego, but the thing is, maybe I do have a high pride, but, sometimes it's just about controlling and making sure it doesn't become something negative. But yeah. And even though I was unconfident, insecure, and small, I still understood that one day I would figure everything out, and it was only temporary. Because even though I was 16, I hated being seen as a child, and I wanted to be seen as an adult so bad. And that's funny that I wrote that, because what is an adult, right? Because just because you're 18, that doesn't make you an adult. Just because you're 30, that doesn't make you an adult. And I've came to the conclusion that what truly makes you an adult is when you're responsible, when you have responsibilities, when you're fully dependent on yourselves. Because there's many people that are 30, they still live with their parents, they're still dependent on their parents, they still don't, do things for them. They still can't live on their own, they still don't have freedom. And those type of people, those aren't adults, because they don't take initiative, and they're not dependent on solely themselves. But it's funny looking back, because when I first started high school, I would look at the seniors and they looked so grown, and I felt so small. And at first I struggled to make friends because of how weird I was. But as the days went on, I started meeting more and more people. And after being stuck in my house for 2 years, I didn't know how to socialize with people. I was extremely awkward and shy and introverted as well. And during the quarantine, my days consisted of me beating my meat at least 3 times a day, playing Fortnite for at least 6 hours a day at least, and losing money in the stock market. And this was by far the worst era of my life, the worst confidence, the worst I felt about myself. And I was disappointed in myself on a daily basis. And I was going through puberty, breaking out like crazy. I had zero discipline, and I would fall victim to lust whenever I had the slight urge to do it, without thinking about the consequences of it. I was the embodiment of just do what you feel like doing. This led me to having deep self-hatred and disappointment in myself. And also notice how I started trading stocks during this time, and I lost over $2,000 No wonder. It was because I had zero discipline and only wanted the outcome without being the person that genuinely deserves it. I wish I understood that when I was 16, but I guess I had to go through that to become the person that I am today. People used to refer me as the kid who had anger issues. I was very sensitive. It was very easy to get under my skin. And it was because of multiple things. First off, it was because of my lack of self-control. My lack of self-control was the stem of where my deep-rooted anger came from. I couldn't control my lust. I had zero discipline. And I would give myself the excuse that I have time since I was young. Anytime someone would make fun of me or make a joke pointing towards any of my insecurities, I would get a rush of just pure anger. And since I had no self-control in other areas of my life, of course I couldn't control my emotions of anger. I had no discipline to control my anger. But they say if something pisses you off, it's probably because it's true. So whatever they were making fun of me for was probably true, and that's why it upsetted me so much. Me letting it upset me was just a self-reflection of how unhappy I was with myself. I was so angry because I wasn't better, and I vividly remember 2 moments where I felt the most raw anger I've ever felt in my whole entire life. And during the first one, I couldn't sleep for a month straight because I had taken one of the biggest losses in my whole entire life. Not only did I let myself down, but I let other people I cared about down. And I was so angry and disappointed in myself, and I quite literally could not sleep at all because as I would try to fall asleep, I would just remind myself of my major shortcoming, and I promised myself I would never let that happen again. And the biggest lesson I learned is fear is like a virus. You need to overcome it at the roots. If you let it grow too big, you're going to be at a major disadvantage, and this is exactly why most people lose in any area in life. And the other instance was when this kid kept calling me a bitch every single day in class. He would repeat it over and over. Looking back, the reason why he did it was to get a reaction out of me, and I was faced with the dilemma of should I let his words affect me or should I be stoic? I would go home so angry. I would think to myself, why does he feel comfortable calling me that? And I genuinely wanted to fight him, but I never did because it didn't seem like the right choice. Because if I did fight him over his words, that would mean his words/actions have control over my life. And I refuse to live that way. My anger is a blessing and a curse because it is a blessing because it stems from my undying passion. Yes, if you doubt me or you make a hateful remark dressed as a joke, I will take it personally because of how passionate I am about my goals. I am passionate about not allowing the people around me to display weak behaviors because exactly why I sometimes say because bro, I can't fucking spell, holy shit. Because why I sometimes say hurtful things to them, but it is because I am passionate about them improving their lives. My passion is my greatest asset, and with high passion comes high anger. And now I am a vessel using that passion. And now I am using that passion to be the vessel that allows people to get into the best physical and mental shape of their lives. One thing that God blessed me with is ability. Whatever I do consistently, I become good at. God blessed me with the ability to improve, the ability to have impact, the ability to move forward despite how many people or obstacles might try to limit me. The one thing that deeply angers me is wasted potential. And the reason why I work so hard today is because I'm angry at how much time I truly wasted in the past. The reason why I get angry at my peers is because I see the potential in them that they don't see in themselves. And it hurts me that they aren't fulfilling the potential more than it hurts them. This is essentially why my passion is a curse, because I am burdened with the weight of other people who sometimes don't even want to help me carry it. And looking back, the reason why all my previous entrepreneurial adventures failed was because I wasn't passionate about it and I wanted the outcome without becoming the person who genuinely deserved it. I started multiple dropshipping stores, an SMMA agency, and I also started trading stock options. And I also started a car washing business, but none of these worked out long term because I wasn't passionate about any of them. I had no discipline, and after doing them for a couple of weeks and not seeing results, I would literally just quit because I had no discipline to continue working regardless of the results. and I would let failures discourage me when they are part of the process. I had zero passion or purpose in any of them as well. Like, I didn't have, passion or purpose in stocks. I didn't have purpose in drop shipping. But I would just do it because I wanted the outcome. But I had zero discipline. I would still, beat my meat 3 times a day. I would still do all these things that were just holding me back from having confidence and from just elevating as a person in general. And, now at 19 years old, I founded Max Out Fitness Coaching, where I coach people one-to-one to get them into the best shape of their lives. And the 2 main reasons why this has been my most successful online business is because I'm disconnected from the outcome. But what do I mean by that? My number one focus is how many lives can I change for the better, and how can I improve my program on a daily basis. The financial benefits are what allow me to put my full time and effort into bettering my service. If you put in free effort, you will get free results, which is exactly why I invest into myself on a daily basis to improve my service and find mentors who can guide me. I take cold showers, I wake up at 5 a.m., I go to bed about 9:30, and I do this to build undeniable stacks of discipline that will bleed into everything that I do. But yeah, guys, basically that was just, a written analysis of, what has gotten me to this point. And a big part of it was my passion. I'm extremely passionate about what I do. And I take everything personally. If somebody disrespects me, I take it personally. If somebody doesn't believe in me, I take it personally. And I take all these things personally, but it just fuels me to do more. It fuels me to become a better person. And, as I was writing this, I realized, I'm like, okay, the reason why all my other businesses failed was because I wasn't focusing on becoming better. I wasn't focusing on elevating myself. I was just focused on the business. But what you guys don't understand is that if you don't work, nothing works. If you're not disciplined, your business isn't going to be disciplined. Nothing's going to be disciplined. And I know that if I hold those high standards with myself, they're just going to trickle down to every single other person that I'm in contact with. You know what I mean? And basically, and I think that a lot of you guys should journal as well, because there's so many insightful things that, I realized, and so many things that I genuinely learned by just journaling, because you unlock like another part of your brain that you never even knew was available, just because you're writing down your thoughts and you're writing down everything. But yeah, and it's like the main message that, I started off, this whole entire insert with was how your habits are so important. It's like you're not going to make it anywhere without the right habits. And one of my extremely detrimental habits was, watching porn, watching these explicit videos and doing these things that are just going to kill my drive, kill my ambition, kill everything. And it's like, bro, it comes to a certain age where you need to leave these things in the past. And it's like, I made that decision. I haven't watched any of those explicit videos in months. Honestly, don't remember the last time I did it, but it's been months from now. And I've never felt better. I've never had more confidence. And I know that every single time I would do that, every single time I would fall into those temptations, I literally had that feeling of just disappointment in myself. And it would last for days. And it's like, it would kill my testosterone and I would feel it. And my ambition wasn't as strong. My passion wasn't as strong. And it just dims you down. It literally just lowers down your frequency for you to become the highest version of yourself. Because the thing is, the highest version of yourself is alive today. You just need to tap into that frequency. You need to start moving and acting like that person. And that's what I've started doing. And that's when I started seeing the most success in my life. When I started all these other businesses, but I had no idea that I had to elevate my frequency first. No wonder all those businesses failed. No wonder I lost over $2,000 in the stock market. And it's like, I'm glad I lost that money because it taught me a valuable lesson. And the lesson that it taught me is that if all you care about is the outcome and you're not focused on improving every single day, then you're never going to genuinely achieve the outcome. You know what I mean? When I first started in the gym, obviously I wanted to look better. I wanted those things, but I was literally just focused on how can I get this weight up? How can I just push myself? how can I PR today? And once I did that, and once I wasn't thinking about, oh, how can I get a six-pack, how can I get these things, and those things didn't even cross my mind when I was in the gym. That's when I actually got it. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're constantly trying to chase a girl, if you're always like, oh, what can I say? What's the most perfect thing I can do so I can have that girl? It's like, dog, she's not gonna want you. You know what I mean? She's not gonna reward you because you're constantly chasing her. You need to, and it's like, once you start attracting and you stop chasing, and you just start elevating yourself so that you can attract everything you want, that's when you're gonna get everything. But it starts with the habits. And that's why I said it takes 66 days to start a new habit. You know, a habit that I have now is that I have the habit of posting every single day consistently. Dog, I haven't went a single day without posting 2 to 3 times in over 100 days. And it's like, it's a habit now. I literally can't go a few days without posting. I can't even go a day without posting because it's a habit, because it's so ingrained into my daily routine that I have to make it happen. I have to prepare to post in future days if I know that day, you know, I can't film. I know there's something that day, and I prepare myself. Okay, if I know that I can't film or I can't edit that day, I'll do it the day before and I'll prepare. And it's because it's a habit. And it's the same thing with the gym. My body physically can't function if I don't work out. But the reason why is because I built the habit. The reason why is because I started. And starting is the most important thing. And it's literally just about starting and doing the same thing every single day. And you're gonna notice if you guys find it difficult to work out, if you find it difficult to do all these things, you need to understand is that once it becomes a habit, it's not gonna be difficult anymore. It's like you have to do it. The same way you pick your phone up every single morning, that's a habit. The same way you brush your teeth, that's a habit. And the thing is, if you want to elevate as a person, you need to start having positive habits, and it just comes with doing these things every single day. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys, you know, got something valuable from this video, because in everything that I post, everything has a purpose, and the purpose is to elevate people. Because, you know, you see a lot of these influencers, right? But I don't categorize myself as an influencer, but you see all these people and they're posting all these things, but all of these things that they're posting are degenerate things that are leading people down the wrong path, you know what I mean? And what I try to post is I try to post things that are going to elevate people to become better and motivate people to become better. So, but yeah, if you guys are interested in getting into the best physical and mental shape of your whole entire lives, just go ahead and DM me on IG. DM me Max on IG. And I'm going to be in contact with you guys, breaking down exactly step by step how I'm going to help you guys get there. But I only work with people who are genuinely serious and who genuinely want to put in the work, you know what I mean? Because the only thing stopping you from you being the person that you genuinely want to be is action. So if you're ready to take action, just go ahead and DM me the word Max on IG. And thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys have an amazing, wonderful day.